day you die. That is so touching. Wow, a baby is something you carry inside you for 9 months, in your arms for 3 years, and in your heart till the day you die. So, with that note, we are still looking at child delivery practices then and now. So, like everybody would have noticed, child delivery practices have evolved with time, and they have, been the way it was before and the way it's being done now. I'm not going to tell you everything at once, but what I'm going to tell you is the World Bank figures in 2011 shows that 49% of births were attended by healthcare workers in Nigeria. 49% of births in Nigeria were attended by trained healthcare workers. So what happened to the 51%? Well, let's also go and check out the World Health Organization, WHO, report on Nigeria that says that nearly 20% of all global maternal deaths happen in Nigeria. That is so sad. That says 20% of all global maternal deaths happen in Nigeria. And also, let's jump in on 2013 figures on maternal mortality rates in Nigeria that says 560 women die per 100,000 births, live births in Nigeria. 560 women die per 100,000 births in Nigeria. And also in 2015, there is a Nigeria estimated maternal mortality ratio of over 800 maternal deaths, per live, over 100,000 live births. And also, lastly, in 2017, 917 maternal deaths, per 100,000 live births. It's not all that bad. We're just, checking, looking at the reasons why we have to talk about child delivery practices then and now. It seems the mortality death has been, increasing over time, but we would talk about that, later. For now, we have a wonderful guest on our program that is going to help me to, talk about this program, this topic even more. We are going to look at this topic from a trained eye perspective. So with that, I'll say welcome to the program, Mrs. Aremu Deborah. She is a principal nursing officer with Jericho Specialist Hospital. You are welcome to the program, Ma.
Thank you very much.
All right. And Ma, how long have you been practicing nursing for?
Well, I've been in nursing practice for the past 31 years.
Wow. That is quite a long time. Yeah. So let's focus on our topic for today, and that is child delivery practices then and now. So what can you tell us about the child delivery practices that usually occur in the past?
Actually, in the past, mothers doesn't believe in going to the hospital. They prefer to have their deliveries at home. And this endangers the mother's life and even the baby's life. In the past, most deliveries are carried out by the traditional birth attendants. Some of them have little training or no training. They just use few experience to take deliveries, and it's not very good at all. Though they assist sometimes, but it's not really good. It's not good. No, it is supposed to be done by professionals.
But those people, sorry to cut you off, those people were seen as professionals back then.
Back then, they were seen as professionals because maybe she has taken the birth of somebody and it was successful. So because of that, if another person wants to deliver, they call her. And she has not actually gone for the training. So, and most of them, they believe in taking concussion. They don't go for antenatal care, no health education. You know, all these things, you know, we train them in the hospitals when they come to deliver, but then they don't do it. No scanning. They don't know the position of the child. They just take deliveries. They are not trained to do it. So in the past, actually, but thank God, many people are learned now, and you know, they go to the hospital.
Thank God for that. So you know, that is how our grandparents, you know, great grandparents were born. Well, it's not an easy task, but we thank God for how life has evolved. So you said something, people give birth to children at home, but there's also something that people do. I know it's been done over the years, but now it's even coming up to become a trend on social media. I don't know if Nigerians are doing it. So this is when people deliver their child at home by themselves without anybody help, maybe just their husband or their sister. They just deliver the child at home, like self-birth. So can you tell us more about it? Is this still existing in Nigeria? And if it's existing, what are the complications or are there benefits for such birth?
It's still existing in every society, especially in Nigeria. It's still existing. You see people give birth at home without assistance. Even sometimes they don't call the birth attendants. They give birth by themselves. I remember my aunt, when I was with her then, all her 8 children were delivered by herself. Then we were very small. After delivery, we just hear the voice of the child, and then she will call someone to come and assist her. So it's still in practice. People still do it. People still do. They don't go to the hospital.
What is the reason behind it? Why would they do such thing? What's the reason behind it? Are there benefits?
There are no benefits. You know, they may just think it's less expensive. That is not. Because when the complication comes, they will spend more. And then mostly they may think because of the hospital protocols. Because of the protocols, you know, when you get to the hospital during the antenatal care, they will do some investigations, you know, lab tests, all these things they will do. So people are really scared. They don't want to go to the hospital because of this, especially those who are not educated.
So apart from the costs, are there any religious reasons why they don't go to the hospital? They prefer to give birth in their house?
No, I don't think there's any religious reason.
So it's mostly because of the cost?
Yes, because of the cost, and then maybe the hospital protocols.
So what are the complications if you give birth to your child at home by yourself?
There are lots and lots of complications. Number one, there is risk of infection, because maybe the child may be delivered in a contaminated environment.
Unsterilized.
Unlike in the hospital, where the hospital is clean every day. We use disinfectants to clean everywhere. So if this is done at home, there is risk of infection to the mother and then to the child. Before even, after delivery. So another complication is maybe bleeding. Maybe if the woman delivers at home and she's bleeding, before you know, she may give up the ghost, because bleeding is one of a very tedious condition. If she bleeds, even in the hospital, we don't take it serious. We don't take it lightly. We don't take it lightly when a patient is bleeding. No, there is prompt attention. There is possibility of bleeding, and this may lead to death. There are other conditions, apart from the infection and the contaminated environment, apart from the bleeding, we have other conditions like obstructed labor. This you may not know, because as a result of prolonged labor, the patient may be must have been in labor for a long time. So, and then maybe they don't know the presentation, they don't know whether the baby is in a transverse line, that is lying in transverse,
and they have to turn,
they cannot do it. So the woman will just she will be exhausted, and before you know, labor will be obstructed, and before taking her to the hospital, it will not be really good.
Oh.
Yeah.
So it can even lead to death.
It can lead to death.
So imagine why people still do it.
Yes, yes.
It's so severe. Okay, thank you so much, Ma, for that, and for telling us the complications of giving birth to your children at home by yourself without any care or any trained medical care. Medical officer. So what are the complications of childbirth? Is not easy at all. So you carry another human being inside you for 9 months, and then bringing someone alive out of your own person. It's not an easy job. So what are the complications of childbirth and childbearing itself to women, to the mothers? After you give birth, what are the complications on your own body? That cause.
Just like I have said before, most complication is infection, then bleeding, which we call postpartum hemorrhage. That is bleeding after delivery. If the woman delivers and she's bleeding, she may die from there.
Wow.
So another complication is maternal death. Then if she's not well taken care of, if they did not take care of her at home, all the necessary things needed, they did not do it, then definitely the woman will die if they did not take her to the hospital on time. Then there are other complications to the child. The child may develop some conditions like we call it asphyxia, that if the baby did not breathe on time, if they deliver the child at home and she has asphyxia, like in the hospital we have resuscitating gadgets like the oxygen. If the baby did not cry on time, we give the baby oxygen so that it will the breathing will improve. But at home they cannot do it. You understand? So the baby will develop infection, severe asphyxia, then the baby may even be bleeding from the cord. Yeah, because maybe they did not ligature the cord well, they did not tie the cord after delivery, and from there the baby may bleed and then even to death. So if this is done in the hospital, it will be, the risk will be minimized. You understand what I'm saying?
I understand that.
So it's not good for them to, and then we still have other complications if they deliver at home. You understand? If they deliver at home, it seems they didn't go for the antenatal care. They don't go to the clinic. No screening is done. No lab test is done. There may be transfer of infection. You understand? That is, if the mother has hepatitis B infection or hepatitis infection per se, it will transfer to the child unknowingly, maybe during the process of delivery. But if she has gone for the antenatal care, all these things would have been detected, and then the things to be done would have been done. So before delivery, and then the infection will not be transferred to the child.
Okay, Ma, thank you so much. So what about the effect of giving birth itself, whether in a hospital or self birth, or or getting an untrained worker at home? Just the fact that you're a woman, you gave birth to a child. There are some things that changes in your body. You are not the same as you are before. So what are the complications as a woman when you give birth? What are the changes that happens to you?
The changes that happens to the woman
after delivery, you are now different.
Okay.
I heard you are different from how you are before. Things happen. Your body system rearrange itself because you just carried another human being inside you. So what are the changes that happen in a woman after you deliver a child?
After you deliver a child, the stress would still be in some of them. So you know all these pains pain of the labor pain you had, it will still be there. You understand? And some of them still bleed after delivery, but this is well taken care of if it's in the hospital, because we have drugs we do give them when they deliver and they are bleeding. So there are so many things. Some of them they still have some of them do have fever after delivery, maybe because they have not been taking good care of themselves. Some of them still have anemia. That is, there's no enough blood in the, maybe during the process of delivery she must have bled a lot. So this is one of the.
I heard some. I don't know how true it is. Some people change mentally. Some start being, some depression comes in sometimes, and sometimes there's a way they act a bit different.
Not all patients. Very few. Very very few. They have something we call preparer psychosis. There must be an underlying problem. Maybe she just got pregnant without her husband, or maybe this problem has been in the family for a long time. It's not a common condition actually. Okay. Not all the patients has preparer psychosis. Then some of them after delivery they have something we call sepsis, preparer sepsis, due to poor sanitation. So, but this mostly happens when they deliver at home, because in the hospital the case is minimized. It's not all of them that has this sepsis. Very few, because everything is being taken care of during the antenatal care. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Mark.
And
if you're just joining us, this program is Then and Now on Pensioners FM 106.7. And we would like to take a very short break to appreciate our mothers. And when we come back, we are going to open the phone lines, and you have to call in you can call in to, give your contributions or suggestions towards the topic for the day. So being a mother is not easy. So we want to use this song to appreciate all mothers and say, mothers, we love you. We appreciate what you've done. It is not easy to actually give birth to a human being. So thank you so much.
Where would I have been without you? Daddy me, from the beautiful to really married you. Now you be my best friend, now you be my sister, now you be my pastor, and you are still my mama. Because you are sent from above. You are my angel, my love. Nothing fit to tear us down. You fast, you wash, you find when I sleep, for everything for you, everything for you, Mama, I am sick about the love, I am my sweet, Mama, I am you brought me back to Mama, your love is beautiful, so my tomato. You teach me how to pray, Mama. Mama, you show me the way, Mama. I said, Mama, man will lose. Dedicate, I know my mama teach me to me. Yeah, here is my picture, my real fast, but you want so. My you find when I sleep, for where they bed, everything for you I do. Mama, everything for you I do. Mama, I am my sick about the love. Mama, you sweet, Mama, I am my 7 days, yes, make a week. After 365 days, just to get to the peak. When I sleep, Mama will think. She will stay this strong, Mama. Ìdálẹ́tà kì í ṣe lámọ́, bàbá mi jẹ̀yà lórí mi, ẹ mọ̀ ṣe lámọ́. Ẹ̀jú kì máa máa mbòmbò, ìmọ̀ náà dàbí rẹ̀ kì máa mbòmbò. Ẹ̀jú kì í teach me to go to you know fit to teach me to back you. I'm not talking I can make you proud. Now you can marry I'm not fit to shout. Open that door, sorry. Open that door, cause I'm too bad to come to a man. Listen. Yeah, no. Excuse me to come this up. Nífẹ̀ẹ́ mi lọ́kàn, pé mi kò tù mẹ́ta, ọ̀pá mi kò tù mẹ́ta òwúrọ̀ màmá mi. Nífẹ̀ẹ́ mi lọ́kàn, pé mi kò tù mẹ́ta, ọ̀pá mi kò tù mẹ́ta òwúrọ̀ wọ́n mi ni o. I'll be there for you, and will love you forever. Wọ́n mi ni o. I'll do anything for you, and I'll love you forever. Wọ́n mi ni o. I'll be there for you, I love you forever. I'll do anything for you, Mama, I will love you forever. Hey, Mama, nífẹ̀ẹ́ mi lọ́kàn, pé mi kò tù mẹ́ta, ọ̀pá mi kò tù mẹ́ta òwúrọ̀ màmá mi. Nífẹ̀ẹ́ mi lọ́kàn, pé mi kò tù mẹ́ta, ọ̀pá mi kò tù mẹ́ta òwúrọ̀ màmá kí ló fẹ́ rà, àwùbá yóò fẹ́ rà. Mama kí ló fẹ́, àwùbá yóò kú bá tì, mama ṣé ló fẹ́, àwùbá tún fọ́ bánà, ó ṣe pọ̀ lé wa, àwùbá yóò wọ̀ yìí ní. Wọ́n mi ni o. I'll be there for you, I will love you forever. Wọ́n mi ni o. I'll do anything for you, Mama, I love you forever. Wọ́n mi ni o. I'll be there for you, I love you forever. Wọ́n mi ni o. I'll do anything for you, Mama, I will love you forever. Yeah, tell me why no go love mama. Yeah, tell me why no go love mama. But she made you for me, oh, she fight for me. Yeah, tell me why no go love mama. I love you, yes, mama, love you, yes. Mama will never leave you, yes. To the end, I love you, yes. Mama, love you, yes. Yes, I love you, mama. And I need you, mama. We are two, mama, love you, yeah. Want me, me, oh, mommy, oh. I'll be there for you. I will love you forever. Mommy, oh, mommy, oh, mommy, oh, mommy, oh. I'll do anything for you. I'ma love you forever. Mommy, oh, mommy, oh, mommy, oh, mommy, oh. I'll be there for you. Oh, I love you forever. Mommy, oh, mommy, oh, mommy, oh, mommy, oh. I'll do anything for you. Mama, I will love you forever. Exclusive to jumbase.com.
Yeah, welcome back to the program then and now. In case you're just joining us, this is Pensioners FM 106.7 and you are onto the program then and now. Well, we have been talking about child delivery practices in Nigeria then and now. And we have established, why we talked about this was because according to the World Health Organization, Nigeria is a country where we have nearly 20% of all global maternal deaths, that happens here. So we have been talking about child delivery practice then and now. What have we been doing wrong? How can we retrace ourselves? What can we learn from the past? And how do we see our future? So, as always, the program, or as promised, this program, we are going to call out our phone lines, and you can call in to give your contribution on this program. And the numbers to call are 0908 1111. That's 1 in 4 places. 067. I'll call that again very slowly. 0908 1111 067. And you can also call 0808 010 1067. That is 0808 010 1067. So 0808 010 1067. So we would love to hear your contribution on child delivery practices then and now. If you have an experience with child delivery practices in your area, in your location, your locale, wherever you are, you've seen how people go through the crude ways, and also what are the hospitals doing wrong. And we would like to learn from everyone, and in every era. We would like to hear if it's a past or it's a present. So we would love to hear your contribution on this program. I'm still on this program today with my guest, Mrs. Aremu Deborah, and she has been answering most of our questions. Have to deal with child delivery practices then and now. You're welcome back to the program, Nina.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah. Anyway, so now we have established so many things on child delivery practices then and now. So I want to ask a very crucial question. When it comes to child delivery practices, we hear the name midwife, all around. So who is a midwife?
Well, a midwife is a trained health professional who cares for mothers and newborns around childbirth. Can I repeat myself?
Yes, ma'am.
A midwife is a trained health professional who cares for mothers and newborns around childbirth. So a midwife takes care of the mother in pregnancy, during pregnancy, labor, and
after
and delivery,
and
after delivery, after childbirth, yeah. Okay. So she has, and for you to be a midwife, you have to undergo training for a period of time,
okay,
and then be registered with the Nursing and Midwifery Council of any country you did the training. If you are in Nigeria, you have to register with the Nursing and Midwifery Council of Nigeria as a midwife.
Okay.
If you have not registered and you are not licensed to practice, you are not a midwife.
So you're trying to say that all midwives are must be medically certified.
Yes.
So if you are not medically certified,
You are not a
cannot.
midwife.
You are
If
not
you are
a-
not medically certified,
Okay.
if you have not undergone the training to be a midwife, and you have not received the certificate, you did not register, you are a quack. But once you register with the Nursing and Midwifery Council of Nigeria, if you are in Nigeria, then you are a midwife.
Okay, but there are some people that call themselves, I've heard of midwives in different streets or in different communities, and I don't think they are, medically certified. I think we have a caller. Hello, caller. Hello, caller. Okay, I think. Hello, caller. I think we lost that call. So you can call again on 0908, 111, 1 in 4 places, 067, and also 0808 010 1067. So that are the numbers to call on this program. So most people that I've seen are midwives, but I don't think they are well trained because they usually are in one small community, and people come to them and say, okay, that's the midwife. When you are pregnant, you go to her. Usually, in fact, when you are pregnant, you don't go to her, but when you want to deliver, you go to her, you pay some fees, and then she deliver you, or she can even come to your own house and then she deliver you. Or sometimes they have a center. So how do you see that? So we have another call. So hello, caller. Hello, caller. Hello, caller. Please tell us your name and where you're calling from. Hello, caller. Okay. I think we have network issues. Okay. Please keep trying to call. The numbers to call are 0908 1111 067. That's 0908 1 in 4 places. Hello, caller. Hello, caller. Hello. Please tell us your name and where you're calling from. Okay, you're welcome to the program. Please, can you speak up? We can't hear you from this end, ma. Hello? Hello? All right, we lost that call. Please, when you want to call in, stay far away from your radio set, as you are calling, to avoid signal jam. And also, please, speak up when you're also calling. Make sure we can hear you, so that everybody else can also hear what you have to say. And in case you miss the phone numbers, I'm going to call it again. 0808 010 1067. So back to my own questions. So those midwives that practice such things and they call themselves midwives, how are we sure they are certified, to do that in that community?
Well, actually, we have traditional birth attendants.
Oh.
Then we have these people that they just have a little experience about taking deliveries, and because of the experience, if she has done it for one person,
they call her midwife.
We call her midwife. If another person wants to deliver, they call her again. Not that she has gone for the training, but if she has gone for the training and she has been given the license to practice, then she is a midwife.
Okay. So those people are traditional birth attendants,
yes,
and they've merged themselves and used the name midwife
because she has been doing it successfully
before.
So they think she's a midwife, and she has not gone for training.
And let me also ask a question: midwife, can they also be male? Because they're midwife, and wife is attributed to women.
They could be, when we were in school of nursing, we have males. The school of midwifery, we don't. But some of them, they have little experience. But you know, in Nigerian society, no, they don't want a male to take their deliveries.
Oh.
But if he is a midwife, or will I say mid-husband?
Mid-husband, I was going there.
So in most cases, it's women. Men can take it. You know, we have doctors taking deliveries.
Yes.
You understand? Mostly it's women that takes delivery. Not that they cannot do it. The women will prefer the woman to do it.
Especially when it's not like a doctor, it's a midwife.
Yes.
You know, must be, because I always assume that the midwife can.
You know, I remember when I was in the north, we have a male nurse there. So if anybody is in labor, if he's the one on duty, they will have to come, a female midwife to come and take the delivery, because they wouldn't want a man to take their delivery. So that is it.
All right. Thank you so much for that kind of clarification. My mind has always been going that, okay, like you said, mid-husband. So, you know, we're going to call them that. So, yes. And then there's this question of midwives, both medically and the ones that are not medically qualified. Are all medically qualified midwives? Let me rephrase my question. Are all medically qualified midwives? So are all midwives medically qualified to deliver babies at home? Yes, that's the right question.
They are, because they have been trained to do it.
Okay.
So you can practice it anywhere. But make sure you have your license.
Okay.
If you don't have your license, you are a quack.
Okay.
I mean a valid license.
Okay.
So if you are taking a delivery at home, you don't have a valid license,
that is the problem.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So as long as you have
a valid license,
as long as you are medically certified,
yes, you
can open up a practice anywhere.
Yes, you can practice it anywhere, because maybe you are at home. It will, you know, in the night somebody wants to deliver, and you see the baby's head, and you have to take it. Though after the delivery, the woman may go to the hospital for checkups.
Okay.
But you can take it at home if they need, you know,
if you needed.
Yeah.
Okay. That is, you know, an eye opener. So I always felt that, why are they doing it there, you know? And I also didn't know that midwives were medically certified. I just feel that
we have a certificate
with practice,
a valid certificate.
They become, you know, good at what they do, and people just look up to them and pay them fees for that. So let's talk about the recent trend. It's still recent. Talking about the present trend in delivery practices, that is the surgery, C-section, cesarean section, delivery practice, that most women even prefer to go under the knife than to deliver naturally. They don't want it. They just, just cut it out and sew me back up. So why do people choose that? Why do people choose cesarean section to natural birth?
Actually, not that they choose to deliver through cesarean section. You know, some conditions must warrant it. You don't just decide to go on cesarean section, because we have some medical conditions that there is nothing we can do but to do a cesarean section. And as we have conditions like maybe a previous CS, maybe she has undergone CS before, and maybe as a result of something we call cephalopelvic disproportion, if her pelvis is too small to bring out the baby. So she has done it the first time, and the hospital has known her history. So they will not allow her to go into labor again, but to do a cesarean section.
I've seen some women, because I've seen some women that says they don't want to go through that stress of pushing. They just want to cut the baby out and sew them back up.
Yeah, well, that one is personal. Maybe she's afraid of the labor pain, and all that is because she's scared. Because ordinarily, nobody will want to undergo a cesarean section. Even if they ask the patients, you are going for CS, you know, they'll be scared. Because number one, because of the expenses, they will spend some days in the hospital before they leave. Some people will even do the naming ceremony in the hospital. So they do its conditions. In most cases, it's medical conditions that make them. Yes, and we have conditions like maybe if she's postdated, We call it prosthetism. The time for her to deliver has passed. So they will do something like induction. After inducing her and she did not deliver, she will go for a cesarean section. So some people, maybe an elderly person, maybe being pregnant for the first time. No, now the baby is precious, every baby is precious anyway. But that one, she has been, looking for this baby and she wants to deliver, to be on the safe side. They will undergo a cesarean section.
But there are no other benefits apart from the medical conditions that you have to undergo. There are no benefits towards that cesarean section.
The benefit is if it's as a result of a medical condition. There is benefit because the mother will be alive and the child will be alive. So it's a benefit.
And pain. What about the pain level?
If you undergo CS2, you will have pains, although they will give you pain relief. You'll be given pain relief, painkillers, from time to time. But notwithstanding, you will still have a little pain.
Okay, that pain of pushing, the contraction will still be there?
No, that one will not be there.
Oh.
It's the only thing, when they take you to theater, they will give you something that will not make you to feel pain. Okay. And they remove the baby, you don't see yourself in the ward. So after, if there's anesthesia, if you have come around from the anesthesia, you still have little pain before you call the nurse, I'm in pain. So that is also pain. So it's always better to have it vaginally, to have it by yourself. So if the baby is big also, they will have to do a cesarean section. If the baby is big and they don't want you to lose it, so maybe a baby with 4 kg and above, 4 kilogram and above, they will want to do CS so that the baby will be okay, the mother will be okay. Yeah.
Childbirth is a miracle.
It is, and sometimes in multiple pregnancies, especially for the woman who is giving birth for the first time, if she's carrying 2 or more babies, they at least not to undergo the stress of before they bring out the first baby, the second baby, the third. They have to do a section so that the babies will be fine and the mother will be okay. Fine. Yeah. Then there's another condition that warrants cesarean section. We call it eclampsia. That is convulsion. So in such cases, they don't allow the mothers to go into labor. They will have to do a section so that the baby and mother will be fine.
Wow. Okay, that's an eye-opener. So thank you so much, Ma. So I know that why people decide to go through C-section instead of natural birth. So with that, we've almost come to the end of our program today. I wish I could stay here for a long time, but I have to leave for another program to come in. So with that, I want to thank you, dear listener, and say thank you so much for listening to this program then and now. I hope you learned something. And for those that have been trying to call, I apologize and say maybe you should try multiple times next time, probably the network. So, and those who try to call, thank you so much for reaching out and trying to call on this program. We will still love to hear from you. You can also send us a text message and then we'll read it on the next program. So also, I want to thank all the mothers out there. You guys are the real MVPs. Grandmothers, mothers, great-grandmothers, if you're still alive, you are wonderful and we appreciate you. It's not easy to give birth to a child. Everybody alive today is as a result of birth. So somebody gave birth to you. You didn't just appear on your own. So you can imagine how many we are in Nigeria. You can even imagine how large the population is in the world today. And it's someone that gives birth to each and every one of us. So it's not an easy thing for you to grow another human being inside you and then bring it out, then nurture it, and then, strive for it to become a better person and feeding and everything. So it is not an easy job, and I want to appreciate all mothers out there. It's not easy, to have a womb. So, and for those who are pregnant, I want to encourage you that don't worry. Thank God for modern technology. You are going to do just fine. And also, new mothers, I want to say congratulations to you. Somebody just gave birth now. I don't know who you are, but I think somebody just gave birth at every hour. Somebody, is giving birth to a new baby. So thank you so much. I also thank you to my producer, Mr. Pius Nsabe. Thank you so much for producing this program. And also thank you, my DCA, Agnes Obatoye. Thank you so much for being with me here. And also thank you, Marv, my wonderful, lovely, beautiful guest, Mrs. Aramu Deborah. Thank you so much for coming on this program and enlightening us on child delivery practices then and now. We've learned so much from your wisdom, and we appreciate you.
And always encourage people to go to the hospital to deliver.
All right. So we appreciate you so much. And that is why we are going to give a round of applause, definitely. Of course, on this program, we appreciate you. So a round of applause for you. You are wonderful. We appreciate you. So thank you so much. In fact, let's make it even louder and say thank you so much. We are going to make it louder. Wow. I don't know what to say. So
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And with that, I am signing out. My name is still Juliet Anine, and this is still Pensioners FM 106.7. Okay, so enjoy this lovely music as you go about your day.
Mamma mia, oh mamma mia, oh mamma mia, oh mamma mia, mamma mia, mamma mia, oh mamma mia, 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 oh mamma mia. Oh, no, you me for to matter. Oh, for me for no matter. Mamma mia, oh mamma mia, oh mamma mia, oh mamma mia, mamma mia, mamma mia, oh mamma mia. Mamma mia, oh I